First off, I just want to start by saying it's been a trying few months for obvious reasons. And I just want to say to fans of any sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, soccer, or in this or the subject of this video, hockey, I just want to say um, continue to stay safe, follow the protocols, and just take this one day at a time. That we happened for the last few months. Uh, it's been interesting for me as a mega sports fan, dealing with society and life with sports completely gone for 4 months. It's a pretty interesting experience. Nevertheless, I am elated that sports is coming back, and the best sport of all, hockey, is just 48 hours away from officially beginning its restart. The exhibition games have played. Now, it was 2 months ago that Gary Bettman announced that a new format for the return to play. The regular season is finished, done, and it is 24 teams, 12 at each conference, uh, participating in this modified playoffs for this season. Uh, the seven worst teams, the Senators, the Sabres, the Red Wings, the Devils, and the three California teams, their seasons are over completely. Um, they became part of the lottery though. Only six of them really participated. Ottawa had two lottery picks. San Jose didn't have one. Hope Eric Carlson was worth it. Um, and it's crazy and strangely enough, the draft lottery ended with the draft lottery not ending because the number one pick ended up going to a qualifying round team. So one of the eight teams that gets eliminated in the qualifying round will be in the phase two of the lottery for the number one pick. So that made things interesting. But anyway, about this format. So the format has, as I said, top 12 teams by ranked by point total point percentage, uh, entering the pause, and the top four of those top 12, they get by straight to round one, but they will play each other for seeding. It'll be in a World Cup style. One game against each of the three teams by conference, obviously. While the other eight, the teams ranked 5 through 12 in each conference, they will play in a best of five qualifying round series. Now, this video is the first of two previews for this, and I'm going to do the East first. Okay, so and I'm going to do the qualifying round and the round robin, get all that together. So, the round robin teams in the Eastern Conference are as follows: the Bruins, Tampa Bay Lightning, Washington Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers. Yes, Philadelphia, who went on a big, huge winning tear before things paused. They ended up as one of the top four teams in the entire Eastern Conference. So they get to play for seeding in the round robin, and that's an interesting bunch because Boston finished as the only 100-point team in the league, so therefore they actually end up with the President's Trophy. And according to the rules, they will keep the President's Trophy no matter how the round robin finishes, because Boston may end up not being the top seed because the highest point total, the best record in the round robin, gets the top seed, and the other three are ranked accordingly by by point percentage, point total in the round robin. Tiebreakers, head to head doesn't matter. Head to head it doesn't matter. So say Tampa Bay and Boston both finish 2-1, but Tampa Bay beats Boston. Boston still gets higher seeding because they had a better record. It's the best regular season record that matters. Head to head doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting because Boston's coming off falling one win short of the Cup last year, and you know they're gonna try to go back. Meanwhile, Washington had a taste of Stanley Cup 2 years ago, and they got that first round exit at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes, a red hot team that actually made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Final last year. Philly, like I said, they finished. They ended up finishing on a hot tear, and and ended up being part of this round robin. And it would really be something if the team that actually enters at number 4 in the East ends up being number 1 and wins off seeding. The best way to win a round robin is just to win out. You go 3-0, that's it. You're number 1. But the team I would think would be wants the most redemption would be the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa. I still to this day have a hard time looking at that team after last year. I mean, anything and everything's possible in the NHL, but come on. How do you win 62 games and win none in the playoffs? Even worse, you get swept by the one team that hadn't won a playoff series at all. Tampa, if I'm the Lightning, I'm pissed. And I would think they would try to make up for that by going on this big long tear, but Tampa's kind of been disappointing the last few seasons. I mean, they've ended two jinxes in as many years. Uh, Washington beat them in 2018 to get to the Stanley Cup final, so they need to shape it up because the window is very small as it is because there's so much parity. And if they can't win in this window, they may never win another one. Now to the qualifying round series. Oh, I can't be more elated over these matchups. Okay, so first, Pittsburgh ended up finishing fifth. They finished third in the Metropolitan, but they ended up finishing fifth overall, and they faced Montreal. Now, the interesting thing, this setup features this setup includes teams that were kind of like this close to the playoff line as of the pause. That's why they did top 12 in each conference, and Montreal was kind of knocking on the door. They ended up they finished in the number 12 seed, but even so, this is the NHL. Upsets can happen, and who's to say Montreal can't beat Pittsburgh? I mean, it should be an interesting series, especially since these were two teams that were real good in the '90s, and I'm a '90s guy. My childhood was in the '90s. I was born in '85, but my childhood was in the '90s, so that's pretty something, pretty interesting. Um, what else is there? Oh yeah, and then you have Florida and the Islanders. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a very interesting series because there's a little bit of history there because the Islanders' first playoff series win in a long time came against the Florida Panthers just a few years ago, and so I would think there would be some payback from the Florida Panthers, but the Islanders were a team. Uh, they looked good. They were kind of looking good, but they would have some bad moments. But I'm pretty sure they want to kind of make another run. I kind of had them going far this season, but who knows what can happen? Like I said, that's the beauty of the NHL. It's gonna be insane. Um, another series, another series. Rangers, Rangers and Carolina. That's gonna be amazing. That's really gonna be amazing because, like I said, the Rangers. I didn't know what to think about the Rangers. The Rangers didn't look like they were gonna be qualifying for the playoffs at all. And that's the 6-11. That's the 6-11 series. Islanders 4. That's the 7-10 series in the East. But so I kind of went out of order there. I apologize. But yeah, Carolina is looking to go far again. Carolina's looking to go far. Like I said, last year was their first postseason in about 9 years, and they had a long run. I mean, they upset Washington, and they swept the Islanders, the same Islanders who swept Pittsburgh. But Boston was too much for them. Carolina wants to really make a good, memorable run. Question is, will they? And who's to say the Rangers can't be that team that shocks fans and upsets Carolina? And the 8-9 series is Toronto and Columbus. Now, Toronto has been cursed the last few seasons into running into Boston and getting beat by them. That may not happen. And however, if this was a traditional 1 versus 8, and they are doing this format, it's 1 versus 8. It's not division based this year. But if they didn't let these bubble teams in, if they did traditional 1 versus 8, it would beat Boston, Toronto again. This round robin seeding kind of gives Toronto a chance to avoid that. And I say Toronto because I do have Toronto win this series. I don't think Columbus. I don't think Columbus is going to really take the Leafs out. They really shocked. They really caused a stir by actually advancing for the first time in franchise history and managing to beat Boston in 2 games, uh, which is their best season ever. But I don't know if they're going to get past the Leafs. Leafs have something to prove. So my predictions for the East side are as follows: Pittsburgh in 4. That's going to be a good series. I think that's going to be a good series. Montreal might give some fits, but Pittsburgh's going to take it in 4 games. Um, Carolina Rangers. What the hell? I'll call the upset. Rangers in 5. Rangers are going to be that shocker. Watch. I just think they're going to pull it off. Rangers in 5. Islanders in 4. The Islanders in 4. I think the Islanders have the right stuff. They do. Uh, in the 8-9 series, I'll go with Toronto in, I'm going to say 5. It's not going to be easy. Columbus is not going to be an easy out anymore. But they're not going to get past Toronto. But it's going to be a close series. Toronto in 5. As for the round robin, well, Philly had a hot start to get to this point, but I really don't see them surviving this. I really don't see them surviving this at all. I don't think they'll get number 1. Tampa, they'll find some way to blow it. I don't think they're going to get it either. So to me, it's between Boston and Washington. And, Washington is Ovi. But Boston was in the final before. So I think, I'm sorry, Leafs fans. You're going to have to be, I'm sorry, Leafs fans. But I did pick the Rangers to win against Carolina. So if that happens, you won't run to Boston in round 1. That'll be the Rangers' problem. So my predicted round robin finish: Boston, Washington, Tampa, Philly, in that order. And those are my East predictions. I will do the West on the next night. And that's going to be very delicious for this Avalanche fan. So, with that, I say enjoy this upcoming modified postseason. And again, continue practicing the protocols. Sanitizer, mask up. And I'll be back on the next day.